Hey, everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live on Susan Lynn's channel, but also on Afefe's channel. So, no matter where you're joining us, thank you for joining us. How are you, Afefe?
I'm doing really good, really good. I hope you are, and I hope everybody's joining. Glad to be here with you tonight. This is our little last minute pop-up kind of thing. And ready, lots to talk about. Can't wait to get some of your questions and see where we go. My gosh, what a week, what a week.
What a week. Look, you guys, if you all are not following Afefe, her YouTube channel, Touched by Tarot, you're missing out. I was just watching her latest video, which she did yesterday morning before the Mom Donnie. She calls him Kanks for Cankles, and I'm calling him Piggy. But anyway, we'll figure out something to call him. She nailed it. You guys have got to be following Afefe. You are totally, I'm saying to you, as your friend. You're missing out if you're not following Afefe on Touch by Tarot on YouTube, because she's just totally nailing it. But yeah, we're here to hang out because why not? It was a crazy week. Things are happening faster than we can even keep track of them. And yeah, Hoggy. Yeah, exactly. Cindy P. Exactly. So many good names for him.
Yes, yes,
Check
yes.
out her because I got all the same things. We are on the same playbook with Mom Donnie, and one of the things that happened too, I don't know, because you did your video before,
Yeah,
she actually predicted this before it happened. But so Mom Donnie, when they got up to do the picture, he stood in front of the FDR portrait.
I didn't know that.
Yes, threads like was like, check out who's behind them. I'm like, oh, that portrait's gonna be in the fireplace. He's gonna burn that portrait.
Exactly,
But I
exactly.
love the way Mom Donnie thinks. He's 5,000 steps ahead of any of these
He really
Republicans.
He is. And also what I love is that he is being so well coached. Like it almost reminds me, doesn't it? And maybe you two peeps, I'd love to hear what you think. But Susan, don't you think, doesn't it remind you a little bit of Barack Obama? Remember when
For
Obama
sure.
really hit
100%.
the national stage and people were like, he's not ready, he's
100%.
inexperienced, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And his cast
Yeah.
of folk that got around him just really helped him elevate. And I see strains of that with Mom Donnie as well. Like he's just got superb people around him.
That amazing transition team he put together, right? That right there sent everybody a message. I
Did.
totally agree with you. I was getting the same thing. He has that young Barack Obama community activist, coming in out of, the community and local
Yes.
politics. Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that Afefe talked about in the end of her video, which was yesterday's video, is she brought up, and I think this is fascinating, you guys. She brought up the fact that not only was she did a masterful thing about Trump and Mamdani, but she brought up Jamie Dimon, the the president of Chase Bank, and how Chase Bank and Jamie Dimon kind of watching this to see this is sort of which way is the wind going to blow, right? Like, and FFA said, like if Mom Donnie comes out of this smelling like a rose, then the financial district in New York, which is the financial district, they're going to have to pay attention. They're going to have to say, oh, maybe we need to sort of change or hedge our bets. Maybe not change, but hedge our bets, right? And so, how do you see that happening, Afefe? Do you see Jamie Dimon, the head of Chase Bank, actually really changing, or do you see him playing? Yeah. So do you see him maybe getting behind some moderate Democrats who then can kind of like lessen the blows a little bit? If
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. It's a great point, Susan. I had forgotten that we know how the spirit gets to
I
going.
We
I
don't remember anything. I just listened to it and I'm fascinated by Jamie Dimon. I'm fascinated by how the financial world, like the CEO of Target, right? Like these people are getting beat up. I want to know how they're going to react so that us, the consumers, can know how they're going to react.
Yeah, I think the idea, I think that for a while they thought there were a lot of people, even after the election, after Mamdani won handily, right? We know that they were like, give him a little while, he's going to fall on his face, because in large part, big money in New York, Wall Street in New York, where they were not going to support him. There was still the establishment there that was going to be, behind the scenes, like, okay, we're going to make sure this guy falls flat. Nothing he touches is going to go well. But now that you got Piggy sitting there, like practically licking his leg, and that's right. So I was like, did
Girl, you
somebody
went from licking MBS's leg, like, woo, woo, like a little schoolgirl, to doing the same thing on Dami. I'm like, what is happening right now?
did they slip this man some Molly? Like, what is going on? It's just, but so I agree with you. So I don't think that, we know how these are operators. There won't be some wholesale change in their philosophy. I just think they're going to have to hedge their bets. Now they understand that Mondani really is going to be a force to contend with. And as the mayor, he's got, people joining his ranks. I did hear, and I have read, perhaps you have as well, and some of you peeps out there, that there are secretly, quietly, more establishment and moderate Dems in that New York region starting to make overtures. Like, okay, yes, like the tide is shifting. He's starting to get phone calls. Let's talk, figure some things out. So to the extent that I think it does include people like Diamond, who, by the way, I don't know if it's him directly. Maybe you gotten a hit on this, but now let's keep in mind, JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, and they're coming in. They're being called in on the Epstein files.
Well, remember Kennedy's son worked at Deutsche Bank, and Kennedy was remember Deep Sixed off the court.
That's right. See what I'm saying?
All connected. It's
so I think this is going to get thick in terms of them really thinking about how to make their moves and who's going to ultimately save their backs or save their hides. Because it's really interesting. It's really interesting. But I think in all things, rather than there being this wholesale, okay, doggone it, he got voted in, but we're all going to collectively get together and take him down. Like, is Lisa Stefanik? She's so good. And did you hear Kathy Hochul got on? Did you all hear Kathy Hochul got on with Chris Hayes on? Well, now it's MS Now, and Chris Hayes asked about at least Stefanik's reaction. And pardon my language, you all, but I'm quoting directly from her. Kathy Hochul, governor of New York State, said she full of shit.
She said that about Stefanik.
Yes, she did.
Well, I liked it. We love to see it. We love to see Democrats grow some kind of spine out of thin air. I love to see it.
Yes, you did. I thought,
or if she had a spine, it was, muffled, and she wasn't using it
for a long time.
For a long time. That is crazy. That is crazy. So that's all in play. I feel like also what you're saying is that Mamdani's going to give cover for Democrats to slide a little bit over to the left. I hope. Although we saw the vote, why in the middle of all of this, they had to take a vote against socialism, and 86 Democrats, a lot of them, people we know, like Jeffries, voted for it. Like, I'm against socialism. Whatever.
Whatever. You could be against being Speaker of the House because you ain't getting it. You might as well be against that too.
You might be against that too, because that ain't happening, sir.
It's not happening, sir.
So you don't think it's happening? Let's talk about Jeffries. You don't see that's happening, huh?
I think Jeffries, his little attempt to jump on the bandwagon at the 11th hour was seen exactly for what it was, and I think just his approach. I just don't think that he's seen as a real force at this point.
He's not carrying the weight of the party. The party's not behind him.
Exactly. I think he'd have a tough time getting that going. Now, I don't even know if this is possible, but I tell you who I think could get it in a landslide tomorrow.
Who?
Your girl, Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, hell yeah, my girl Jasmine. Hell yes. Hell yes. Y'all, I would seriously fly back to Texas and like campaign for her in the summer.
Yeah,
Okay, like if y'all know me, that would not be pretty, but I would do it. Because she's amazing. Okay, yeah, okay. So do you see AOC going for Schumer's Senate seat? I
yes,
mean, because theoretically, AOC and Jasmine could be senators.
yes. Um,
Truly.
I think so. I, but well, let me ask. I get that. I just get in some way, AOC is just a little out in front of Jasmine on
Yeah, well, she's had longer
that, and
time.
yeah, and the whole tour with Bernie,
Yeah.
and her kind of getting out on that national stage a little bit. I think she may be. I think the people's heart would be with Jasmine, but politically, I think AOC might be a little
As
better
Speaker of the House or as a senator?
as a senator.
As a senator. Okay.
As a
So you
senator,
think of the two of them, AOC, but AOC is going to be running for Schumer. Isn't it Schumer's seat? That's
she
a
would
pretty
see.
big, powerful New York. Well, I mean, New Yorkers already showed up for Mamdani. I mean,
Yep, you just took it out of my mouth. Get out of my head. Yeah, yeah, no, I think because if Mondani continue, pray and hope you all that he continues to ride this wave and he gets behind AOC,
Yeah,
which he
that's
will,
true. That's true.
which he will. Yes, it's over with. Susan, I saw a question that's gone up in the feed a while ago, but it caught my eye. I don't remember who, but I did not know this. Someone was asking what was the energy between, there was some standoffish energy between Joe and Kamala at Dick Cheney's funeral. Did you know about that?
I
I
didn't know about it, but I shared a picture on Threads where it. First of all, let's just start with the first thing. GW Bush looks like he escaped out of some. Man looks
I
bad.
haven't seen it.
Man looks bad, y'all. He looks bad. I don't know what is happening there, but I mean, Laura should have helped the man. Okay, she looks exactly the way she did 20 years ago, and I don't even know what it. It's not like he's got a receding hairline. It's like he's got a. Maybe it was the picture. Anyway, it looked like he got a divot in his head. I don't know. So that's number one. Number two, then you go down the line. You've got Joe and Jill, and Joe has got this frown, like I mean, like the big frown, the big I'm so sorry. And you get to Kamala Harris, y'all. This woman, look, I'm just saying what it is, right? Like she's got the whole damn program, and she's like cannot be bothered with this shit. Like this is me trying. I'm trying to read the program of the funeral. But I'm sorry that it just to me it says everything. She is um she needed to be there because she was the VP and she's never not going to show up, right? That is just not her. She's never not going to show up.
Yeah,
But she was it looked like she was feeling like, and Doug was not there. I don't know why, who knows? Maybe he had something going on, but it just looked like she was kind of over it. um Everybody had this very grieving or grieved face, and then there's Kamala here. I don't know. But they read the book, right? I mean, they had some.
they had some.
There
They
was a little bit of a power play there. You know what? He didn't pick, um, a fly boy. He didn't pick somebody who was just going to be a fawning little sycophant. He
no,
picked a powerful woman who had her own life, her own successes. And
absolutely.
if you think you're going to pick that kind of person, and
Yeah,
that kind of person is just going to be a sycophant, you're wrong. You're
exactly.
wrong, right? Like you picked the wrong person. If you wanted a sycophant, you should have picked a sycophant. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And while I think she was really gracious about the way she approached it in the book, you could tell, you could feel, I mean, just imagine, as you said, Susan, when it was someone of her accomplishments to have this historic situation happen. First woman, first, Black woman
Black woman,
as vice
South
president.
Asian Black woman. Let's give it all the props up in here.
And just do nothing with her. Just do nothing with her.
Right. Be afraid of her almost. I think he was almost like he didn't know what to do.
He didn't know.
Um, I mean, look, I'm a big Biden fan. Don't get either one of us wrong. I think we really appreciate him, and I certainly appreciate his 4 years of leadership. But I think there was a disconnect there.
Okay, and I'm sorry to interrupt. Somebody's saying, please stop around about Kamala. I saw pics of them saying hello, and Jill, and she and Jill were hugging. So maybe it was just the moment of
I'm
what.
not saying I'm not saying she was reading this about Biden. I'm saying she was reading this about being there for Dick Cheney.
Oh,
I'm saying that she's like, this man, right? Like in the scope of what we're dealing with right now, Dick Cheney kind of really is the beginning of how we got here, right? Like the whole Ollie North thing, right? Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not digging on them. I'm saying that she was like, let me just get through this.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Stop lying about Joe. Y'all are hilarious. Like we're lying about Joe. Okay.
okay, we're talking about
Calm down, everybody. Nobody's picking on Mr. Joe, President Biden. I just said I love the man. Calm down.
right,
Hey,
right.
guys, we need to calm down over here. It's not
Y'all
like
are
that.
feisty
We're
this
okay.
evening. Y'all are
Yeah, it's
feisty.
all good.
And somebody saying, "Come on, folks, chill." Right?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you,
Yeah.
Zon Crystal. We're over here trying to lighten the load a little bit. If you want to
Yes.
be like super upset, then there's plenty of ways to go get that.
Yeah.
um,
But I
yeah, we like to have fun.
I
We like to have fun. So anyway,
saying,
um,
Susan, I hear what you're saying. It's a really good point. There's a demarcation between what she was feeling, what any of them were feeling, for that matter, around Dick Cheney, because we know what he too, just like we talk about, some people going on in Kank's orbit. He was a shadow president. Cheney was considered a shadow president,
for
right? Very
sure,
much, for sure.
for
So
sure.
that's absolutely very, very
And he
valid.
didn't even know or care or whatever the thing was. He allowed that to happen, right? Biden was not that president. Biden was a take troll. He's a Scorpio, like a whole bunch of Scorpio. He's a let's get it done. Well, and he did. He saved our asses. He did,
Really,
100%. So
really
yeah,
awesome, awesome.
it's all good. I did see some interesting questions in the chat that I wanted to. Oh boy, new emails from Ghislaine coming out. Y'all, this is not over. Like whatever they do in as far as like releasing those files, fine. The victims are going to be out there telling their stories more and more and more. I just feel like a tidal wave of these victims being able to come out and speak their truth, and new emails coming out, and also from other countries, because other countries have all these things. I just feel like the energy suggests that it's all going to come out one way or another.
Yes, I think so too. And the thing with Ghislaine is, I understand that I think I don't know if it's the House Judiciary Committee, whatever, Congress has already tried to get her to come back in and talk to them, on the heels of clearly what Todd Blanche didn't do, and she's pleading the fifth. Her attorneys have, oh yeah, she's saying they're saying we're not going to do that. We're going to
We're
plead the
not
fifth.
going to.
But
Well, what do you,
I think that's why many of these emails are going to continue to come out, because they're like, okay, you don't want to tell us?
I'm telling you, you're not going to stop it. It's like water. It's going to come from some other direction. What
Mhm.
do you think about her being in this super light security prison? Like somebody's saying she's got a dog. I mean, I don't even know what is going on for real. Like, I mean, do you feel like she's really going to get a pardon? Do you feel like she's going to disappear? Do you feel like she's going to go the way of Epstein? I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
I think they'd like her to go the way of Epstein.
Get rid of their problems, right? Like the way they did Ivana and Epstein
Yes.
and
Like,
Kirk.
I mean, of the just like the survivors, of the many people who know firsthand uh who was who and what was what, nobody knows more than her, other than
That is
you know other than Epstein himself when he was alive. So yes, to your point, Susan, I think you're absolutely right. Like they would, of those options you just gave, the option to exit stage left would be the preferable option, but I
Mm-hmm.
also think it would be such an obvious situation at this point. They'd have to do a whole lot more than figure out how to make 3 minutes miss off the tape. You know what I mean? Like, this would have to be a whole, and you're not talking about competent people, you know,
Also true.
right?
Also true. It's not SEAL Team 6.
We ain't talking, we don't have SEAL Team 6
No,
on
we don't have SEAL Team 6
now,
doing this.
not the real
No.
6 teams, so we don't have that.
We
So
got Bubba left over from Jan 6 with, out
who's
on parole.
who's gonna leave a trail of taco shells.
Trail of taco
You
shells
know what I mean?
and beer caps, bottle caps from his beers. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Um, there has been some talk though, and I could see this happening. Interesting to see what you think and the peeps, what you all think, folks, is they're saying because if she wants to be obstinate and play hardball and refuse the subpoena and say, okay, even though I agree to sit down forever and talk that trash with Todd Blanche, I'm not coming in to say a word to you all. Then the idea is, okay, so now you defied the subpoena. That could be grounds to send her butt back to whatever gulag she was initially in. Like, no more puppies, no more summer camp. Bring her butt right back to wherever she was, or worse. I could see that happening. And then she's, essentially buried.
But do you think one of the things I saw many years ago is that she's got this dirt. Like you said, she knows she's got all the dirt, like everything plus some. And what I had seen was this dirt is kind of like disseminated around the world. Something happens to me, it triggers a release. So
Yeah.
you better keep me alive, because if I'm gone, this goes live, like on Times Square on the Jumbotron, in Vegas on the Jumbotron. I
Yeah.
mean, it's over, game over, right? Um, that's the only reason I think she's still alive. Because
I,
why would she be? Seriously.
somebody male overseas has copies, because as you started asking that, Susan, I was like, okay, did she set this up like as her insurance policy? And the first thing I got was the high priestess, what she
There
did.
you go.
Yep,
She ain't dummy.
and look, as if that wasn't secret enough, here comes the moon with it as well, like under the dark
Look.
of night, under the cover in the dark of night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then here comes this king of wands. Somebody, so that feels like somebody, some male figure that
Mhm.
that has that material.
I hear solicitor. Isn't that an attorney? Isn't a solicitor another name for an attorney? I don't know. I heard solicitor. So if that's the case, right? So if that's the case, then she's playing them at their own game and beating them, because she's not dead. Nothing has happened to her.
Right,
So then what happens, right? Like, so then how does she, because she wants to be out. She wants to walk out of that. She wants her life back in whatever way she can get it.
right.
You see that?
I do see that. And I think they're going to continue to string her along and make some promises to her. Hold tight. We
Oh,
can't
there
do
you
it right
go. That's
now.
exactly what they're doing.
Right. Hold, just
That's what
sit
they're
tight.
doing.
We got you. You
Yeah.
know the situation. Kanks can't afford to do this for you right now, but
Yeah.
we
There
got
you
you covered. Just,
They're stringing her along.
and string her along. Um, and I and think and perhaps that would also make sense why they try and snatch her out of a minimum security place where she can have more access to people,
And
or
put her back in,
and put her back
like,
in and like lock her up somewhere in the back of a room
the
nobody
whole, like the
hold, so
that
that
I think there's energy around that.
I think
I
they need,
think they need to make her disappear from the public eye.
I think so.
And, maybe she isn't gone, but she's gone.
She's
Wow.
gone, right. She's
Um, wow.
yeah.
So you read on MTG. We both read on MTG separately from each other. And one of the things that you got was that an AOC came out and said, here's the thing with MTG, right? Like, she just got vested, like she just spent enough time in Congress to get her pension. So she's got her money, right? And then we all know, you can see it clearly, that she's made millions of dollars in the last couple of years, millions and millions. Because wasn't too long ago, we were talking about how broke she was, right? And now all of a sudden she's a multimillionaire. So that is certainly, I believe, cover. Like, I think that that is definitely a reason why she's resigned from Congress. But I feel like it goes deeper than that. I feel like she was paid off and or threatened, and maybe both, right? Like, take the money or take your chances, right? Like, and when I'm not talking about pension, because she crossed the lines. And, like we talked about earlier, Piggy he's hemorrhaging power. Like, he's losing power. He not only is he losing in the polls, he's losing power everywhere. We're
Yep.
going to talk about SCOTUS too, and tariffs in a minute.
Yeah.
He needs power. That's why he brought in MBS to get that power, and that's why he brought in Mamdani, because he was like getting that power. Like, okay, I'm getting next to these people who are popular, next to these people who are powerful. I'm gonna like get some of that power from them. So I feel like what happened with MTG is she obviously was pretty good at being an enemy. You know what I mean? She was actually starting to put some points on the board. She was
Yeah.
really starting to get under their skin. She was really starting to get power herself. She was looking for that speaker. She was like, I'm going to get this, right? So they went to her and said, enough child's play. We're going to pay you off, or you're going to end up walking off, out of a window. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I think. I think it's beyond. I think that if you look at it in dollars and cents, if she would have said, okay, I'm just going to take my pension, that's great. But if she stayed in the house, she would have made millions, 10 millions more just by staying in the house, right? Why would she give up the future money? What do you think?
A couple of things. Agree with everything that you said. I also think that here's something that I just discovered, because to your point, people were talking about, oh, she didn't have that much money. I saw something either today or yesterday. No, it must have been today, because I just learned about it this morning, that she resigned. When she entered, I think it was 2021, she had $700,000. Not, hey, I'd love
Yeah, I
700.
know. I mean, right, right.
Right? How about you all, right? But she had her worth today is estimated to be 25 million.
25 million.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, you guys. I mean, yeah, you can cash out with that golden parachute, but who ever stops pulling the lever on the slot machine?
Yeah.
Whoever stops wanting to make that money, she could make a lot. I think this had to be something pretty intense for her to say, "Oh, okay, I suddenly agree with you. I think I'll go retire." Um,
Can I say one more thing, Susan? And
please.
hear what you think, because I saw somebody in the comments and I agree with you. Somebody put insider trading question mark. Here's
Oh,
the
for sure.
I think AOC said something to this effect.
Yes.
Well, if the house, not if, when the house turns next year, and there's been talk that they are going to launch those
It's true.
investigations into congressional insider
That's true.
trading. And
That's true.
she's got her sights set on something bigger, perhaps in 2028.
Yes.
I think she said, let me get out of here, so
Wow.
in that
So
mix.
that's like a Liz Cheney move. So
Um,
she's like, I'll just get out of the kitchen that's on fire. I'll go in the backyard and hang out until the thing burns down, and then I'll come in. And wow, that is fascinating. I agree with the insider trading. I think these people are going to get rung up. They're going to get investigated. They're going to get indicted, and a lot of them are going to end up going to the big house.
yeah.
So, wow, that's certainly a different angle to it too. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say AOC was one that kind of, said, put
She's
something to the like out.
the
Like, yeah,
truth bearers.
yeah. So I think she had something to worry about for sure, for sure. And she thought, let me get out of here before, while my reputation is still intact,
Mhm.
such as it
True,
is. And
true.
mm-hmm.
And she was going to read the Epstein perps on the House floor. I mean, there were a lot of, I'm pretty sure in the like pro con list,
Yeah.
right? Like, it was like, yeah, I think I would rather survive and
Yeah.
live to see another day. And there is this thing like where they think that if they just get out of Congress, they're not going to be investigated. You know what I mean? Like they think that
Hello. Yeah.
spotlight,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and she got a lot of PPP, and I think that's those grants that happened during the pandemic. I think a lot of those things are gonna come back around and be investigated. I don't know what the, term limits are for
Yes.
that, but,
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I see Kevin Lewis is out there. Hey,
oh, hey, Kevin, good.
good to see
Yeah,
you.
so
Good to see
maybe
everybody.
travel throws Caesar for running for president. I think that's what Afefe is alluding to.
Yes.
She steps out of this fiery, inferno where she's likely to get drugged down, right? Like, and it is true. I think the more spotlight you're in, the more spotlight you're in. So she's probably hoping to step down and reframe her character and her reputation and come back.
Yes. Oh yeah, and I just said to confirm because I've seen it before. I know you have as well, Susan. I did, but just to confirm again, K Travel Tarot, whether that is her plan, it is 100%.
Yeah.
They call it the teacher, but it's the Hierophant, which for me is one of my major cards around government or establishment.
Government.
And yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Okay.
she's got it because I mean, let's think about this. Rubio and Vance, for real. That's what they're going to do. But
Mm-mm. They're not going to win.
they're not going to
So
win.
if she can rebrand herself,
Yeah.
which part of that is just getting out of the fire, getting out of the heat, getting out of the spotlight. Yeah, the guides always show me like monsters, like when you're watching that movie and the monster runs off into the woods and you're like, darn it,
Yeah.
because you're going to have a sequel.
Yeah.
That's these people like Roger Stone, right? Like that guy was around during Nixon. He's still here.
Still,
Bannon. These people disappear, and when it gets too hot, then they come back when they get an opportunity. That's going to be MTG, unfortunately.
yeah. Yeah. But that's her plan. That's 100% her plan.
I don't see it. I don't see her being president.
No. No, she doesn't have I think she'd need a lot more. I think she could mount a campaign. I think she could probably get a decent amount of money, a decent amount of, decent amount to put in her war chest to mount a campaign, but there's too much out there to show her true colors, to really get people passionate about her and to, the MAGA base. She's trying to do MAGA 2.0, but I don't,
Exactly.
yeah. Mm-mm.
Exactly. They're all trying to do MAGA 2.0, but I don't think MAGA 2.0 exists. I don't think MAGA understands where they're going or who they are.
Yeah.
Just like CK, Kirk's people, they are kind of going towards the right, but I don't think in mass. I think there's more confusion among those people than a direction. I kind of feel the same thing about MAGAs. They're just confused, shocked.
They absolutely are. They don't know where they belong
They
anymore.
don't know where they belong, and they don't like any of it. They don't like the Democrats, they don't like the right, they don't like
No,
any of it.
they don't like any of it.
Yeah,
They don't
which
like
is, you know, that's
all
fine. So stay
they are trying. Susan, do you think, and also folks out here, the peeps, as I say, they are trying to make the Nazi situation not so bad. This thing where was it Noam, Chrissy Noam, who apparently put out the thing about the Coast Guard and saying now swastikas and nooses were not, and then the Coast Guard, of course, came back behind that and said, that's not what we said.
we're not feeling that.
But why do that? And then there's this whole fight with Tucker Carlson and all about Nick Fuentes, who you see where I'm going with that. There just seems to be a little nudge to say, hey, ever since that young Republican scandal with those text messages, there just seems to be a little gentle nudge, and JD coming out and saying, it was just kids being kids. 40-year-old
Cannot believe it. 40-year-old kid, one of them.
40-year-old kid. So where I'm going with that, I want to be clear, is I just get the sense that they are trying on some scale to normalize it so that
Yes.
the MAGA base that does want to go further right, because God forbid they come back to any semblance of normalcy, then it's like, well, it's not as bad as it seems.
Right. Yeah, I
Would you
agree. They're trying to normalize it.
normalize?
Like they normalized Antifa as being bad, anti-fascist, which a lot of our grandparents were there on the shores of that,
Yes.
war, right? Doing that thing. And now all of a sudden, being Antifa is bad, right? Like it's the whole Orwellian up is down and down is up, and your brain is scrambled, so you don't. That's what they did with the MAGAs we were just talking about. Their brain is so scrambled they can't know anymore. They really honestly don't know anymore what is up or down or right or wrong.
They don't. They don't. They don't. Especially when they sit up and watch their fearless leader with Mom Donnie
Y'all,
basically saying,
y'all.
I know you're going to ask him if he thinks I'm a fascist. It's okay.
I've been called worse things than a despot. He said, I've been called worse things than a despot. I'm okay with it.
So of course their minds are blown. They're like, is that what he just said? Like, you're right, Susan. Their minds are blown. They don't know up from down any longer. There's no clear messaging.
Yeah, there's no, because they've been cooked. They've been cooked.
Yeah.
So let's talk about something petty.
I know where you're going. I know it. I know it. I love 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 it.
Hey, Travel Tarot is feeding me so there's this picture. Well, we've already talked about how JD with Erica with 3 Ks, and she had her hands all up in his good hair, and he had his hands on her waist. We already saw all that. So now the next thing is 2 things happened on thread. I really should put pictures up here, but there was this picture of Usha Vance without her ring. And many people double check this. Like I saw people go back in the PR photos for the last week or so, and there's several pictures without a ring. It's not like she forgot her ring. It's not like it was on the other hand. This is a thing. She's not wearing her ring through some period of time. But then the other petty thing is this man wore this tuck shirt. I don't know where this came from. I honestly, Timu is too good for this tuck shirt. I don't know what happened to him. It was the craziest tux shirt I've ever seen. But he didn't wear a t-shirt under it, and he got a big stain here, and people were like, is he lactating? I mean, there's pads. I mean, I don't know, right? Like it was a thing. And so they ran the picture of him with the stain that you could kind of see under his jacket, and her with the no ring. What is going on? That's what I'd like to say.
Well,
people are saying I wouldn't wear a ring if I was married to him either.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I will tell you, I had a moment when I saw the threads, going on around her with that. I had a moment when I was like, oh, okay, so she's in her Melania phase. Like
it's the Melania phase now. Okay.
She's going into her Melania era, almost like I'm going to be here and serve this function because this is what I signed up for, but you do you and I'm going to do me. Like I do feel like there's some.
Okay, the Melania. That makes a lot of sense, right? Like, and if you need me to be at this dinner, it's going to cost you. If you need me to wear the ring, that's an extra fee.
That's an extra fee. We got to renegotiate the prenup on that one.
That's right.
That's how Spirit gave it to me. Like she's going to go into her Melania phase and just start to, and just start to go her way.
I don't blame her. I mean,
And she's being coerced. Two of Swords, exactly. She's conflicted. I think she's being coerced to some extent because there have been a lot of people, and Susan, I'd love, see if you feel this way, who who have said, listen, nobody's going to feel sorry for you, Usha, because at the end of the day, you did what you did very deliberately because you too were power thirsty. And so every transformation that JD made, you stood in the background and clapped it up because you saw him on the Teal was putting him on this trajectory. And you were like, yes, let's do it. Let's go grab this power. And she still wants that. She still wants proximity to that power. So that's what I mean by coerced. I get the sense that I don't see some big break happening. I think she's going to play her role because she still wants proximity to power.
Mm. Do you feel like he could, because I saw, I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but I did see him getting a divorce because MAGA, and I think this whole thing between Pence and Vance, like all the whole power thing is completely different now. Something different is happening. But for him to be accepted by the MAGAs, he gonna have to find. I'm just telling you, he's gonna have to find a white blonde woman. He just gonna. Erica with 3 Ks is like the perfect thing, right? Like he could actually elevate his
That would have
poll
worked.
by trading in and getting the other model. Do you see that? Do you see them sticking together? Oh, I got questions for you.
I know, right? I, 4 of coins, 4 of pentacles. Okay. So if Kankles exits stage left for whatever reason, they 25 him, he spirit intervenes, whatever, and he ascends to that seat temporarily because we know spirit has said it won't be long. So if he ascends to that seat, I think she'll hang in there. But the minute he goes kaput, I think she's out.
So you don't think he'll get rid of her to ascend to the seat? No, he can't.
I don't. Right. I don't. I'm not saying I don't think he wants to.
But he can't. It's not. It's
He,
not. He just can't.
right. You don't trade.
Oh,
And you got 3 kids.
and she's not going to let go. She's not going to make it easy for him. She's not going to walk away. She, like what you're reading is, she's like, I'm like a tick stuck to your back, sir.
That's right. Because
And I'm not even going to make you look. You're not even going to look good. You're going to come out the house looking all stained and shit. No, no.
and I just pulled the Hierophant again, and I shuffled that deck good. So
What?
I think she's got her eyes on that
She
prize.
does. She
And
she has to get there.
right.
I think she literally has to get there
Yes, it is.
because if she doesn't get, I mean, their kids are not white. You know what I mean? And you got ICE running around snatching people up. I mean, she almost needs that to make sure that her family has some sort of standing so that they can survive whatever it is they're planning. These people are planning, which is like, the whitewashing of America.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
a great point. That's a great point. Oh, can I just interject a little since we're being petty?
Yeah, why
Okay,
not?
this is not about them, but this. What you think about this? Somebody sent me an email today and said, going back to Mom Donnie and why Tanks acted that way. They said they think MBS put a thing in his ear as a fellow Muslim. Listen, I need you to take it easy on him because he is of Muslim heritage. I was like, what you think?
Well,
Does
first
he?
of all, I mean, I get it, but I don't. But here's how I would interpret that. MBS, I don't think he cares, but I think he does care that Trump looks bad. And I think he does care that he loses power because the more Kankles loses power, the more MBS has, the more Putin has, the more Xi has, the more everybody has. So, and they like playing with him. He's almost like a little, like, let me have the little strings. I want to play with him for a while. So I think the reason it was done that way, but I think it was done like, Mamdani's my man. I'm gonna have to be nice to him. So then Trump was fawning on Mamdani, but it was really because they knew that it would make Trump what is lose his power
Right. Right.
in.
Interesting. Interesting.
Because I mean, I just don't. MBS scares me. He's the only guy who smiles, and I get scared.
Yeah.
His smile is the scariest thing. For many years, I wouldn't even say his name on my channel.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. These people are super crazy. So
No.
yeah, I think it is that, but it's a different reason. Right. One could be Sunni and one could be Shiite. I don't, this is all weird to me, you guys. I don't understand why, and I don't want to open up a can of worms. So don't go there with me. But I don't understand
Right.
why we're not having more Jewish people come out against the Hitler stuff. Like, it scares me to death, right? And I'm not Jewish, right? Like, I don't understand why synagogues and rabbis are not out on any TV show on the street corner, someplace going, we have to really talk about this. This is not acceptable in the United States of America. I don't know. I don't understand why I'm not seeing that. Maybe I'm just not plugged into that. And that's why I'm not seeing it. And it is happening. I don't know. But there's just a lot of weird energy right now that I can't understand.
It's well, it goes back to what we were talking a moment ago about this normalization of what is just completely unacceptable, and the far right and the Hitler and Nazi thing, that there's something there. And I think it's also being driven, I hate to say his name, but I think some of it is being driven by Muskrat. And
Oh,
because he's been on this whole worldwide tour,
that's
basically.
true.
And then he was at that dinner
Yes, he was.
for MBS.
Yes, he was.
And they said that was the first dinner he's been invited back to in who knows when.
That's true.
So it almost feels like they're being bought. I don't want to say bought off, but those powers that be, that should be, to your point, that you would expect to just be, oh, absolutely not.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I do not get it. I mean, maybe they think it's not a real threat, but I think it's a real threat. But maybe, I don't know. I mean, what do I know, right? Like,
Yeah.
maybe they think that this threat is towards, brown and LGBTQ and other types of people, and not Jewish people for once. Because you don't see these people attacking synagogue. I don't know what is happening. I'm just saying it's very
Not
um
not lately, not lately.
not lately. There certainly it has been, right? There was a time when they were bombing black churches and synagogues and going into black grocery stores and going into, it was just ridiculous. It was hell on earth.
Yeah.
So this person says the Jewish community is fractured. She knows because she's Jewish.
Um,
I just think that must be very painful. This must be a very painful time to just deal with this, to even try to begin to understand what is happening here.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I do. I agree. And I think I wonder if some of this ties also into everything that's happened in the wake of Gaza. Uh, because
Yeah.
it's just been such a tough, I can only imagine, can't speak to the Jewish culture by any means, and I don't want to overstep any boundaries there. I respect it. But I have to wonder, even for many people who are sympathetic on a human level
Mhm.
to what has happened to many, especially children
Mhm.
in Gaza, who have just not been able to voice that for being seen as somehow traitorous to the faith.
Mhm.
Um, and I just wonder maybe if that silencing is growing, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Where now, even on a domestic issue, fine, we don't talk about Gaza, but maybe even in America, we're not speaking up as freely as we may have. I'm the
Mhm.
daughter of a Holocaust survivor. I'm so freaked out. I'm laying low when Netanyahu is done put targets on our backs. Wow.
It's really almost, it's the same energy we talked about with the cooking of your mind, right? Like the cooking of your mind in the sense that these illegal immigrants or brown people are stealing your jobs, therefore we need to remove them. And it's
Exactly.
the same thing. The cooking has happened with Netanyahu, with
Yeah.
this very black and white kind of situation
Yeah.
of something that's not black and white. It's just not, right? So I think it's like, you have to agree with us or else you're not a good person. You're not of the faith. And
That's
that's the part that I think is searing and rending people. And we really need some leaders to step up and say, this is a false narrative. This
right.
isn't really something you have to choose. Yeah, I
Right.
don't know. It's complicated.
I'm wondering, Susan, what do you think about this? I'm wondering if, because we know, talk about 2028, we know Josh Shapiro is coming in,
Good point.
and he has been very outspoken on many things,
Mhm.
and he has been victimized. And so I wonder if he will, you think maybe he'll take up that part of that mantle and start to speak plainly to that issue?
Maybe by 2028. Right now, it just feels like it's super hot and nobody can really speak to it. But maybe by 2028,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think we're going to be a whole different country by 2028, right? I mean, we're not in a bad way per se, but in a seared, vulnerable way. Like we've had all this stuff seared off of us, all these preconceptions that we had about people who come from other countries to help us, about black and brown people, maybe about the Jewish people. You know what? All these preconceptions that we've been sort of glazed over or baked in or cooked with,
Yes.
all that's falling apart because we're going, wait a minute, right? Like, just wait a minute. This is not at all what I believe. And now I'm becoming aware. So I think by 28,
That's right.
that, I mean, you're going to have some pretty interesting competing energies, in my opinion, because you're going to have women, like, forget it. That I don't believe that Kamala Harris was not elected. I don't believe that she was not electable, like they're saying. I
Mhm.
think that she won the popular vote. I think she was electable, is electable. So going into 28, what do we have? Kamala Harris, AOC, perhaps, right? We may have a very interesting group of candidates,
Oh,
of
for
which he may be one of them.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. I think I know he wants it, but you just said something really fascinating, Susan. And I know you've talked about this before. So let's talk about the protests, right, for a moment, in terms of how things are changing and how they will change by 2028. I'm getting the sense that just as many people recognize that not as many people of color have been out at these protests, throughout this year, but for obvious reasons, right? If we're there for
For
sure,
good reasons.
it's the right,
All the good reasons.
all the reasons. So what has happened is then you've had this larger subset of American culture turn out and say, that's fine, then we will go out and we are here on behalf of everybody,
That's right.
black, red, Asian, white. We stand on behalf of everybody. So to the point, even around Jewish culture, I think that's going to become increasingly a part of it as well. Is the changes, like you're saying, as we grapple with how we are changing as a society, we will recognize it's not just about a Jewish issue with Nazism. It is not just about a Black issue with nooses. It is not just about this or that or the other. It's all of us.
All of us.
And what affects one in one way or another trickles down or spreads and affects all. And I wonder if that's kind of the direction we're going in.
That's our lesson.
That's our lesson.
That's the lesson. So I'm heartened when I mean, although I will tell you guys, like I've said many times, like if I see ice, I'm going to prison. Like I have a hot temper and a short fuse. And if I mean, maybe I'll do prison ministry. I don't know, right? Like it could be something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm heartened when I see those videos coming out of Chicago or even like places in Oregon that are very, it's interesting to me that the towns they're hitting are more upper middle class or definitely middle class. And you see these videos and all you can hear is whistles and honking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what you're talking about, Afefe. That's everybody coming together to say, not on my watch, not in my town. And these are not only white people, but these are white people that have means, right? That and they're putting themselves out there to say, I'm going to stand up for the gardener or the person, the caterer, or whatever it is, right? Like, I don't even know this person, but not on my watch. And that's where you're exactly right. That's where we're going, right? This is the kinder, gentler, if you will, energy. And we go all the way back to the beginning of our conversation with Jamie Dimon, who's the head of Chase Bank, and he's watching Mamdani, and he's going, okay, all right. The tide, like we lost, like I just hear him saying, we lost. Now I need to make the best of a bad situation. I need to try to, get what I can get. Like maybe not 40% taxes. Maybe I can get it down to say 25, right? Like, so that's where I feel like that, where we're going forward. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. It makes complete sense. And also what I love is that's happening, the dynamic that we see playing out, just as you said, even in these sort of upper crust neighborhoods in Chicago, where you had folks come and going, oh, no, you will not. Also, what about the Mima in North Carolina who had the Mexican laborers up stringing her Christmas lights, and they showed up and they said grandma went and got her Second Amendment. That's what they call it. Said she went in the house and got her Second Amendment.
And she'd use it.
And she'd use it. She was like, I'm going to tell y'all one more time.
Get off my property.
Get off my property.
And that was in where was that, in Georgia?
No, North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina.
Like not Raleigh, although Raleigh and Charlotte have been the major metropolitan areas. But this was because they were chasing them out in the woods. And they were like, yeah, they chased them off in the woods.
They chased them into the woods, y'all.
And they were like, we hope y'all know how to whistle out in the woods. We hope y'all know how to do some things in the woods.
You're gonna be in them woods for a long time, sir.
For a long time.
And now they're going to New Orleans, where New Orleans is like, get the voodoo out. Let's do this. Like, I almost want to go to New Orleans and just be a spectator. Can I just rent somebody's balcony and just watch this go down? Because, it's...
Because I've read things on threads where people are like, no, you don't even understand.
You do not.
People,
I promise you do not understand.
Getting ready to mess you up. Your future lineage is up like this. You don't understand. You
about to mess up your next 3 rows of relatives you don't even know exist yet. But them people is going to pay your price. Okay. But they're too stupid to know that. They're too stupid to understand that. But I'm telling you, we should just go down there. But see, I can't spectate. I am not a spectator. I'm a jump over the balcony and land on somebody's head. And I mean, I'm getting used to the idea. I really have a violent streak. Back when I was PMSing, this would have already been done. I promise you, forget a gun. Because I used to tell people, I don't want a gun. I want to make contact. I want to feel the contact.
That's so right. I want to get my
I want to be able to feel it.
I want to get
so I would live every month on I wish you would.
No. Yeah, they're not ready for that. They're not
ready.
But so to the point of like Portland with the frogs and other stuff, they're saying they're talking about the second line, like the horns and they're saying get out on the streets and just blow them out. Like just.
Do you guys know what the second line is in New Orleans? It's basically a parade. So like in any given day at any given time, there could be a parade. Okay, I don't know about no permits. But they're saying we're going to create a parade, and those people are never going to get down that road. They will never get down that road. Yeah. And also what happened, I think, in Carolina was their tires got slashed overnight.
Yes, they did. They found out what hotel they were at. They were at this was Raleigh or Charlotte, one of them. They found out what hotel they were going to be at. And they went and played blasting videotapes, the vocals of kids being snatched from their moms. They blasted kids screaming, being snatched from their moms at the windows, and then when they came out the next month, they had slashed their tires. Like they're not, they're not.
No, I'm telling you that
Mm,
y'all, that was a kiss on your cheek.
yeah, exactly.
Please understand that we have given you a warning, and if you continue with your foolhardiness, it will just get worse.
Yes, yes,
So I'm not sure. Portland had the frogs because Portland went through this in the 2020s with the
yes,
BLM, and
yes,
it was rough. It was really, really violent and hard on the city, and they didn't want to have that. So, but
yes.
I'm just telling y'all right now that Atlanta and Memphis and Georgia and North Carolina and South Carolina didn't get that memo, don't care
Don't care.
about Meemaw, doesn't care about your frog. She got her Second Amendment.
She went and got her Second Amendment.
She went and got her Second Amendment.
Okay, I'm telling you, I have seen Susan have and I keep seeing it here. What has something else happened with Megyn Kelly?
Let's ask because I don't know. Somebody
Just-
is really
And then,
excited about it. Somebody remind me who Megan Kelly is again.
Megyn Kelly is that Fox. Well, she used not Fox. She's a right wing. She got blasted off of NBC, I think it was. She had gotten her own show on a major network. She's a right winger, kind of like a Laura Ingram's type,
Oh, okay.
but she's messed up. Like she got kicked. I want to say it was NBC. She had a major network show, like a major talk show, and I can't remember what she did, but it was bad enough they kicked her off of that. And now she's still MAGA centric. She came out recently, a couple of weeks ago, and said in reference to the survivors, the Epstein survivors, and she started saying something to the effect of, well, a 5 or 8-year-old is not the same as like a 15 or 16-year-old. Like so a 15 or 16 may not be quite, it's not like they were doing it to 5 or 6 or 8-year-olds, and even MAGA, like even everybody was just like, what? So that got her in hot water. I'm wondering, used to work for Fox News. Okay, thank you for that. But I'm wondering, like, did she do something else? Is that why you all are asking about her? Because that's the last I heard.
Yeah, and they're saying she was allegedly abused by Roger Ailes.
Oh, that's
Ailes.
right. Forgot about that.
And these people that is it Stockholm syndrome? You know what I mean? Like they have internalized victimhood or something, and they just blame all the other victims, even though they're a victim. I never really understand
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So she literally said it's not pedo if they're teens.
Wow.
Um, she doubled down. Starfire 7 is saying.
Whoa. Whoa.
She's victim blaming MAGA women.
Whoa.
She feels like she kind of feels like Erica with 3 Ks to me. Like or who is that? Laura Loomer, or like you said, the other person. She feels like those women that are just unhinged.
Yeah. Candace Owens,
Candace Owen is another one.
self-hate.
Um, so I guess she went after MTG. So I guess the most recent thing is she went after MTG. Um, Is she carrying somebody's water? The guides just said she's carrying somebody's water. So she's an attack dog, a hit job. Somebody called her and said, "You're going to say these things," right? Like she's a dial-up instigator, is what they're saying.
Yes. And I think they promised her something.
Anybody's water. It's funny.
Anybody's water, right? It's reported she already has millions. I think she thinks that she's going to get some sort of appointment down the road in another.
Oh, for the love of God.
And I say that only because I did pull the Fool for her.
Mhm.
With the King of Swords, that in this instance, I feel like that's Kenkel's Gemini. With the Knight of Swords, so that's her talking to somebody or conversations around her. I just wonder if she thinks if she hangs in there long enough, Spirit, does she think she's going somewhere? Like, is she going to be? She thinks she's being pulled in.
Hope springs eternal.
Right, Queen of Pentacles. That somebody just talked about her money or money in general, and the Ten of Pentacles. Is this her being offered money or offered a position, like buying her off to do more? The Chariot. Yeah. I think I think somebody's in her
She's
ear.
working with somebody.
She's working with
So
somebody.
Patricia says Kelly went from being against Trump to kissing his butt after an interview in which he talked about a great piece of chocolate cake. Her face smiled so sweetly to him.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
It's just too much.
Candace Owens is trans.
Oh, that's what somebody
You
said.
all are bringing the tea
Then we got petty going on now, y'all. We got petty going on. No, I do not. I don't think she is trans. I think she's really, really injured in her mentality. That's what I think. Do you want to briefly? I know there's some other. Let's see. Somebody also asked about Swalwell. Let's add, and thank you, Peeper Frog, for your super sticker. That's so sweet of you. Many in the chat are asking the following: Swalwell is running for governor of California. Will he win? Oh, thanks, Patricia. I don't know what Afefe's getting. I get no. I could be wrong. I could be reading this wrong.
Isn't Adam Schiff running? Who else is running?
Adam Schiff. There's a whole bunch of people running. Something happened to Katie Porter. I didn't even hear about it, but apparently she made some misstep or something, and people are saying she's not in the running anymore. But I didn't really see her getting it either.
Was it
Swalwell.
Swalwell who semi embraced MTG for a hot minute?
Oh God, yeah, he
He
kind
went
of did something weird. I mean, like Newsom did when he went and sat down with those right-wing podcasters trying to. I don't know what he was trying to do. Yes, they're saying yes, and she yelled at a staff member live. Oh, that's what Katie did. Okay. Hey, Libby's here. Good to see you, Meister Tarot. Apparently, where did you go? Apparently, Katie bombed an interview, which is a pity. Okay, yeah, that is a pity. Um, that's also true. I don't know, you guys. What are you getting about Swalwell?
Hangman.
Iffy?
Hangman, yeah.
Hangman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at what's his name? The other guy that you just
Schiff?
said that.
Schiff? Adam
Yeah,
Schiff?
Schiff. Adam Schiff. Look at Adam Schiff. He seems really doable. I mean,
That's who I kind of thought was going to
he's
emerge.
a corporate.
Yeah. Two of Wands. I think that around Adam Schiff, and something about this structure in the background. It just feels like he has a better structure in place, whether it's people already lined up, money already lined up.
It's money.
I think it's money. There's something about this pyramid in the background that's calling.
It's money.
Plus,
It's money. It's corporate.
Is a very future focused energy. So it just feels like he's got more. Schiff has more. He's just got all the components already in place, and Swalwell would have to, like, he's behind the gates.
So are you? I know Schiff is in Senate. We know that, but I'm seeing he was running for governor. Isn't he running for governor or considering to?
Schiff's
Yeah.
running for governor? I thought he was. Oh, he's not running
They're
for
saying
governor.
he isn't running for governor. It's just beginning term as a CA calendar, not running for governor right now. Okay. When is the governor? When is governor
Governor's
race?
26, isn't it?
Okay. Well, you guys, listen, I mean, people tell you they're not doing things because they have to tell you that. They have to. They can't not say it. But so who is running then?
Yeah, I don't know. I keep hearing that it's going to be a bunch of, but Schiff is a senator next year.
2026, yeah. So if no one is running for the governor, then no one's running for the governor, right? I mean, we know Kamala decided not to. Somebody's going to have to put their hat in the ring. So Tom Steyer. Okay, billionaire Tom Steyer. The other guy we said. Swalwell. I don't think he has it to pull it off. Maybe he does. I like Swalwell. He would be good, I think. But I just can't see him pulling it off.
No,
Maybe I'm
Nine
wrong.
of Wands, Four of Swords. He'd have to really scramble to put together a strong enough platform, visibility. He just hasn't had that big of a voice.
Well, maybe he'll catch fire. Do you think he'll
Maybe
catch fire? Because
fire.
apparently he just
Well,
announced it
Nine
on Jimmy
of
Kimmel.
Wands, Nine of Wands, talk about fire. But men, he'd have to push it so hard because it is going to be competitive, even though I don't know enough about who all's in there. And the Knight of Pentacles, he's going to give it a shot. Will he win? Will he be able to play catch up and win? Knight of Swords. It's all but I like this. Look at the earth, the map behind him and him trying. He's just going to have to.
He's an underdog.
He's an underdog. Thank
He's
you.
an underdog.
He's an
But
underdog.
he just needs to play his cards right, because these billionaires can outspend him, and he'll have to just not go head to head with them on money, because he doesn't have the money.
Exactly. And
So hopefully that energy changes.
yeah, that's his problem, is the money. Boom, that's his problem. Five of coins. That's his problem, the money.
Can we look at Tom Sear? How do you say his name? Sear? He's a billionaire, but he's a Democrat and he's a climate guy, activist. He's given me some energy. I don't know what, if it's good or bad, but I'm getting energy around him. Can you look at Tom Sear?
Tom Sayer. Wiki lists 14 candidates for governor of California. Wow, that's going to be a wild time. Swalwell has the highest percentage points right now. Interesting.
I would love to see Swalwell. I would love to see that. He's going to have to do something radical.
Sire. Tom Sire.
In my opinion. And it could happen.
I don't see enough enthusiasm around him, but I do see him making moves. Eight of Wands, he's going to make some interesting moves, but Eight of Cups, he may bow out. He may mount a campaign and then at some point have to bow out.
Okay.
And seven of Wands, so he may mount a decent campaign. He may put up a decent fight, but he stands a chance, though. Hold on, let me back up a little bit on that. Four of Wands, that is a card of celebration, commitment. It's definitely not clear. But then the Four of Pentacles, like stuck. It is certainly not clear cut around him. I do think he will mount a campaign. I do think he will, but I bet I got to look at that Eight of Cups. I think he'll mount a campaign, and then perhaps when he gets closer to the primaries or whatever, because if it's a field of 14, that's going to get cut way, way, way down. Right. I wonder if he's going to make the cut.
No, Swalwell is not a Republican.
No.
Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled. And if you're in California, pick a horse and work for it, right? Pick somebody and help them, right? Because it's all about us. Oh, he comes from a family of Republicans in law enforcement. He's been an interesting guy. Yeah, he's been an interesting guy. What did Libby say? Do we see with all these dropping from Congress, what do they know that we don't? Well, they know that it's like we said earlier before you got here, Libby, I think, is that there's a lot of insider trading being done, and there's going to be a lot of investigations on that with that. And people are trying to get out of the spotlight, if you're out of the spotlight, your life is so much easier. You can navigate allegations. You can navigate investigations so much easier because you don't have all the paparazzi, you know what I mean? You can sort of make it kind of go away in the back rooms. But when you're a congressperson, they want blood.
Yeah,
They want that blood. So you're now your prize. What do you think, Afefe?
I 100% agree with that. And talking about Swalwell, which we have been, I think he was the one who said this week too. I can't remember what GOP congressperson it was, uh, but he basically said, you better start keeping your affairs in order, because a year from now you're going to be sitting in a witness seat, in the hot seat, answering a whole heck of a lot of questions. So they know that, to Libby's point, they know that, they see the writing on the wall, they know that it's coming, and they know that they've got a lot to answer for the way that they've completely abdicated their responsibilities for the better part of this year. And that's going to be called into question.
They're complicit.
They're
They're
complicit.
complicit. I don't care what anybody says. This is how I feel about ICE, right? Like I've said it many times, and thank you, RNs wanna for your super sticker. Do you also see ICE, these thugs that are the foot soldiers in the I do you see them being held accountable
Yeah,
in some way?
not all of them. There's too many.
Yeah, but
Too
a
many.
good portion, right? Like the majority, at
Yes,
least,
yes,
trying to get the majority.
yes. And I think there's going to be increased pressure to around the area around identification. Getting those masks off, or badges or something, to be able to trace and identify them, because they're going after them on the back end.
Yeah.
They're going after them.
They're not gonna get away with it. They're
They're
just
not
not.
getting away with it.
I agree they're not complicit, they're accomplices. Thank you. That's
Yeah,
very
how about
true.
that? Yeah.
Very true. Very
Very-
true. People were asking about Jack Smith. Now I think his energy has been that he's well, didn't wasn't Trump gonna go after him? And Jack Smith said, let's do it, right? Like we would love to have discovery. I would love to let everything I've collected be in the public domain, right?
Yeah.
Like let's go for it. And then it just disappeared, right? Like they were like, no, thank you. We don't want that. So
Yeah.
do you see Jack Smith coming back in to the justice part of the energy, being part of our justice catalyst as we go into 26 in any time?
I do, but I think it may be in ways we least expect. Like
Right.
nobody expected him to have that conversation with Andrew Weissman.
No.
Uh, right? I mean, when have you ever seen him sit on the stage and just talk and let it out
Never.
that way, right? And he dropped a lot of information during that. So it wasn't technically within the political realm, but it was, right? And I can
Mhm.
see him playing more of that role, where he may not be in some official capacity, but he's still there. And when he knows, he knows. And what the information that he amassed. Because what's that idiot's name? Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan was the one who was really trying to yank
Yes.
Kirk Hanks, right? Was really trying
Right.
to yank Jack Smith and say, no, you're going to come with us behind closed doors. And that's when Jack said, I'm perfectly willing to do it, but I don't see why we need to do it behind closed doors. All of a sudden, you don't hear as much about
And
it.
no, it is not happening. It is not happening.
I don't
No.
think it's happening, because they don't want that, especially now. Especially now. But to your question, Susan, I think we are going to hear more from Jack Smith. It just, in what capacity, I'm not sure. But I
Interesting.
but for him to get up there and sit with Andrew Weissman and speak as frankly
Freely.
and freely, I think he has a lot more to say.
This was a man that we were like judging his sandwich. You know what I mean? Like he's going to do this because he's got a sandwich. Like, I mean, the man never said a word. Like you couldn't even read his face. We were like, what shirt is he wearing? We were trying to figure out anything we could. And then he just like gets up there and he's like, let's talk. Let me show it. Let me tell you some things.
As
I'm sure that
sexy as
scared
he
them
ever
to death.
was, if I could just say that, as sexy as he ever was.
You all with your Jack Smith like crushes, I don't get it, but I mean, so many women were like swooning. Oh
Prosecute,
my God.
prosecute me.
Yeah, prosecute me, she says. Investigate me, Jack. Y'all
Please,
are hilarious. Oh my
put me
God.
on the stand.
Um, so I want to ask one last question. We're not going to be on here too much longer, but I did mention that it looks like the Supreme Court is going to take up the tariffs case. And I've seen some legal scholars say that they feel like the Supreme Court might not side with 45 with Piggy. Now we know a couple will, right? Like I think Thomas is absolutely a reprobate. And there's a few there, but I think a few justices might slide over and throw out the tariffs thing. Do you get that? How do you feel about how the Supreme Court might rule?
I think the Supreme Court is going to rule against the tariffs. If I'm not mistaken, they did have the initial arguments, and I can't remember which justices, but it was surprising. It may have been
Tony Barrett.
Gorsuch.
Who?
Yeah, it was. I think it was Gorsuch and Barrett and Amy
And
Coney.
Barrett. That's right.
That's right. And
Yes.
they were, if that was any indication, they were raising some really, really interesting questions, and they basically tripped up the DOJ's people in making them sound really stupid. Like they were contradicting themselves. They were running over their own sentences. Like it wasn't even making sense. So I absolutely think you nailed it, Susan. I think, of course, Clarence Thomas is going to vote, he's going to vote a donkey's ass if that's what he has to do. Period.
Yes.
Roberts is going to be interesting.
Let's talk about Roberts. Something's going on with Roberts right now. I mean, I think he's terrified, honestly.
He's in the files. He's in the files.
Yes, he's in the files. So
for entertainment purposes.
Allegedly, only. Right. Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so let's stay with the tariffs just for 1 second. So you feel like they're going to nixay the tariffs, and then there was something about giving the money back or making good on the money. Like that was part 2. Like, will they go back and say, we're going to make the money right? No,
they may say
money's gone. I don't know what people think. When this man gets money, it's gone. We should be frankly driving to Fort Knox right now and checking, right. Because that's gone too.
Yeah, he probably sent it back with MBS to Saudi Arabia. I mean,
yes.
No, yeah.
Exactly. The money's gone, but we can stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I mean that's just as bad as different subject, but same premise. Making the promise to make the TSA workers who worked through that whole thing and give them the $10,000 thing, and then just completely jerked them.
Reneging every time. Ugh. Okay, so then going back to Roberts, because Roberts is Chief Justice. Do you feel like he's okay? Here's the thing, right? Like, I guess there is so much energy around the files because it affects Congress, it affects celebrities, it affects politicians, it affects everybody, SCOTUS. Do you feel like Roberts is going to feel so much pressure that he's going to pull an MTG? This is what it's called now, y'all. Pulling an MTG.
Because that might be his only way out. You know what I mean? Like in the
no kidding.
That might
I mean for real.
That might be his escape hatch.
And I don't know that that's really going to work, but it's the same premise of Congress leaving before they get investigated, right? It's
exactly. I tell you what, he is stressed to the
I know. I told you he's scared.
He is scared. Look at that. All hunched over. Eight of swords all around him.
Yeah.
He wants to retreat because my first card was the 9 of Cups. Like they call it wish fulfillment or wishing or what you want or desire. He wants to be left alone. Like he's
too late now, sucker.
Yeah. He signed up for this.
Yeah.
But he didn't read the fine print.
He thought he was going to get away with it.
He thought he was going to get away with it.
Like all of them.
And then we had the Hangman comes back for him.
Well, things look different when you're sitting in a prison.
uh, and then the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Two knights, Pentacles and Swords. You know what, Susan? I read this as nothing drastic around him just yet, especially with that Hangman energy as well. Things kind of in limbo. I don't think anything drastic with him as yet, but the minute this regime changes and that writing is really on the wall, they're either going to go after him or that's when he'll duck out. I don't think he's going to do it now.
Right. I don't either, because he's frozen. He's so scared. He's literally frozen.
Literally frozen. He's just
like, I can't move. There's no good options here. I just need to pretend like nobody sees me.
right. But but the Seven of Swords, lies upon lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. He's caught in that web. So when Kanks is gone, and when the Congress decides, oh yeah, we are a branch of government, after all.
That's hilarious. No, I'm crying actually.
Then I think we might see something from him, perhaps something unexpected. I also wonder, Five of Pentacles, he's going to feel increasingly isolated because who's his protection? He has no protection.
You're right. He has no protection. You're absolutely right. He laid down with dogs and they would throw him over in a second.
And now he's advanced from the Eight of Swords to the Nine.
Oh, shoot.
He may have a little short circuit moment.
Right. Well, from all the stress, like he might have a little aneurysm kind of situation.
Right. Aneurysm, stroke, something.
Yeah, something like that.
Not wishing it.
No, not at all. But allegedly for entertainment purposes only.
For entertainment purposes only, but something's going to take a toll on his health. So he either voluntarily makes a move or has to make a move.
Well, it won't even be voluntary because it'll look like voluntary, but it won't be because he does not want to leave.
Yeah.
His only protection is that black robe, right? That's his only protection. So once he steps down from that, he's kind of like a little bit like an ordinary citizen, and things are going to get really tight for him.
Absolutely.
But overall, now, Afefe is the queen of positivity. Like, that girl can make the Tower comes out in your reading and she's like, here's what's going to happen. It's going to be okay. You're going to have a rebirth. You're going to have transformation. You're just going to get through this, which I love, because what she's taught me is not to fear it and not to fear bad things. Like, just this is what's happening. Okay. Let's keep looking, keep going on, right? So, she's really good at helping you maneuver through life and not just get like Roberts, who's literally frozen. Like, the man is literally out of commission. The guide said he's out of commission, like his teeth are chattering, like he's having a real breakdown right now. So anyway,
self-imposed, self-imposed, like you said, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. So, it is what it is.
Do you feel like, how are you feeling about 2026 in general? Be honest with us.
I do think towards the back end of it is so around this time next year, we're going to be celebrating.
I love that. That's the midterms.
The midterms. I think we're going to be celebrating something around his birthday and Independence Day.
Kanks.
We're
going to be celebrating.
Right. Well, maybe maybe it'll be part one of the celebration.
Okay, we can celebrate a lot. We deserve it.
I just think they're gonna really, when Muskrat came out a couple of weeks ago and said, okay, time for us to pull some rabbits out of some hats.
Just that
Yeah.
man, somebody needs to just take him to the
So,
woodshed and leave him there.
and I think they're gonna turn to him again. I think they're gonna be eyes on him, and he's not gonna be able to do it as easily as he did it before. But so I'm saying all that to say I do think that 2026 is going to be a year of a lot of subterfuge, a lot of tricks, but I think that ultimately truth will prevail. I wouldn't be surprised if we're still going through the Epstein stuff well into
Oh, for
next year,
sure. Yeah. I
right?
mean,
You get that?
yeah, because it's the justice. It
It's just
takes a long time. You've got to have the deposit. Look what happened. They had the depositions,
right.
and then a lot of those victims got threatened and disappeared.
Exactly.
And God
Exactly.
bless, Jufre.
Exactly.
I don't know what happened there, right? So this is going to take a while, but here's what I think. Let me ask you this question. So I agree with you, but I also think that the pressure that we're seeing by the likes of Mondani. I mean, I know he's just the mayor of New York, but that was a shot across the bow. The whole country said, "Oh snap!" Right? Like in all these little red races that are becoming blue, right? Like the powers that be are starting to go, okay, we're losing, right? So what I kind of feel like is that even though, and even if 45 Kanks Piggy is still in the Oval Office in January or April or May of next year, I feel like I feel it. Let me know, Fefe. Tell me if I'm talking crazy. I feel like we are the will of the people, which we see, right, like we talked about earlier in North Carolina, meanwhile with their Second Amendment. We the will of the people is starting to come out. The will of the people is starting to say, we don't want this. You have Roberts being freaked out. You have all these things happening. I kind of feel like you're going to, and MTG stepping down. These are big changes. Let's not gloss over this stuff. These are big sea changes that are happening. I kind of feel like he's going to be walled off. Like SCOTUS, Supreme Court is going to say, we're not rubber stamping all your stuff anymore because we cannot, right? So they're going to start handing him bad news. He's
Right.
going to start. Congress is MTG's out. All these things are changing. I think we're going to have much more parity. The guides are saying balance in Congress.
Yes.
So even if he's in office, I just don't see him having the power.
He
I
is.
don't see him having the power. The
Nope.
thing I think we need to address, we've already talked about the Coast Guard, right? They tried to say, oh, you can have nooses, you can do these things, you can have swastikas. And then the Coast Guard themselves said, no, you can't.
We didn't say
No, you
that.
can't.
We
So
didn't say that.
right. So you can see reality sanity, starting to happen in people's heads so that the government isn't actually controlling them the way they have,
Right.
right? They're standing up to the government. The last thing is ICE, in my opinion. They're they're militarized thugs. If we could get rid of ICE or stand up to ICE, then I think this whole out of balance situation gets put better in balance, and Kank's Piggy gets put in a less powerful position.
I agree. You know, this is,
Do you see that happening?
well, I'm going to tell you what just occurred to me, and I don't even know if this is possible, doable, legal. I don't know. But because you're right, ICE is a problem. And that's where that $170 billion was a problem, where they yanked all of that money, Doge and everything, they yanked all that to feed into that, right?
Yes, yes.
So you're absolutely right. That's a big problem. Could governors
Yes.
invoke their own state national guard
Yeah.
to prevent crimes by ICE? Because
Yes.
if they have the legal power to do that, and they begin to enact that, you will not continue to terrorize our citizens, and we will activate our own law enforcement to make sure, just as we've heard on a local level, there are cops arresting ICE now, local police, who
Right.
are, yeah, it's small numbers, but it's been happening.
Right. Right.
So to stop them, I'm wondering if there could be if it's possible to have a more concerted effort, and have governors mobilize their own National Guard in that
Or
regard.
their own troopers or their own police. I mean, this is what the guide said for months. This is the only way to stop it. Is the states have to stop it. Now,
See,
these are federally appointed and federally appointed officers trump local authorities. So that's kind of what's been happening. But what I think is happening is the way, even though these federal officers, quote unquote, have the higher rank, they still have to follow certain laws. And this is where I think the loophole that you're talking about can happen, because I don't think a federal officer can just hijack somebody out of a car, leave their kids in the back seat and haul them off. Right?
right,
Like I think they're literally breaking laws that the feds can't break either. We just needed some clarity. Again, justice moves slow. You need the state Supreme Courts, you need the state AGs, you need the city AGs. This is what the guys have been saying.
that's
You
right,
need them to wake up, get together, put it on paper, and then
right,
give their police officers and maybe their state guards
right,
the the backing. We're
right,
going to back you, right? Like, you're going to do this and we're going to back you.
right,
But until that happens, Afefe, we got Meemaw with their Second Amendment on the porch, right? And in the meantime, we are pushing back. So
right.
there's pressure coming from a lot of different directions.
But there's also, to your point you just made now, okay, fine. So we're conditioned that, okay, so if it's the feds, that's top of the heap right there. But that's a part of what all of this has been about. And that's where some of this backfire is going to come, because even then there are conditions that the feds must meet in order to go into states and supersede their
Right.
own state and local law enforcement. There are
Laws. Right.
conditions
That's right.
have to be met. You don't just show up and say, I'm fed, I'm top dog. There
Right.
has to be, and that's the point where it's this illegality of assertion of them there, because you were not at the governor didn't ask you to come here. There was no emergency. There was no
Right.
catastrophic event or anything that occurred that sent you here. And so therefore you're being forced on us, which in and of itself at some point I think is where we're going to see, and they've been threatening, this is illegal, this is illegal.
Don't you think it has to get to like the state Supreme Court, or somebody needs cover? Like, but look at California. They passed a law that says you can't be covering your face, right?
Right,
So I think these states are going to do whatever they can do
that's right,
to push back. And
yeah,
then it's over, I think,
yeah,
because this is their last kind of big power.
that's all they have.
And the economy is going to be just crushed, kind of.
Yeah,
So, I mean, they're not gonna have that either. They're not gonna have the money rolling in.
right.
Um,
They don't have anything to hang their hat on
mm-mm.
and point to and say it's working. They don't have anything to hang their hat on. So
And if
20,
they keep messing with the MAGAs, you wanna talk about Grant Meemaw with her Second Amendment, that's nothing compared to the MAGAs with their AR Second Amendments, right? Like, they're gonna mess with these MAGAs, and the MAGAs are gonna get really crazy,
yeah,
really, really ugly, I think.
absolutely, absolutely. So this it's no win. So to your point, to your earlier 2026, I think that's really when 2025 was when the horror set in. The absolute,
For sure.
oh my, like the reality of what just happened. Like this was one long thing of all these revelations. And I think 2026 is where it starts unraveling and the empire strikes back. The real empire starts to strike back.
Nice. And that's why, and Libby and a lot of people have said this is not going to get cleaned up next year, right? I am not saying that either. I'm saying rebuilding. Instead of people saying this is going to go on for 4 years, I think what we need to understand is 3 of those years are going to be rebuilding, are going to be telling people what we want and advocating for
Yeah.
these changes. If
Yeah.
you've got Jamie Dimon, you've got Chase, you've got these people on their back foot and they're negotiating,
Yeah.
this is the time to
Yeah.
call up Adam Schiff, to call up whoever and say, we want this, right?
That's,
We want universal health care. We're
that's
not
right.
going to stop until we get these things.
That's right.
If we don't stop and we continue the pressure, then those years are rebuilding years. That's not like Afefe just said, we just went through the House of Horrors. I don't see 3 more years of the House of Horrors. I see back and forth, compromise, moving forward, getting a setback, but I see growth and action.
Yeah.
And I see things we can hang our hat on that we're doing, that we're really, and they just showed me doctors and nurses, right? I said this a long time ago that I see them walking out and striking.
Yeah.
And I think they're starting to do that. So healthcare is going to be a big deal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sabine Magpie. Healthcare is going to be a
Oh, yeah.
really big thing.
And that plays into the first part of the year because those subsidies run out at the end of December. So the
The
ACA.
prices are already going up. And you said this in your video. Again, if you guys are not subscribed, if you're on my channel and you're not subscribed to Afefe Touched by Tarot, you're missing out. She said this on her video she did yesterday, which is a really, really good video. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. Yeah, but no, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, but we gotta like take your vitamins, like say your prayers, keep your spirits up. Like it's gonna take more of this. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. But I don't know why somebody a spirit just brought back to my mind, like from the time Rosa Parks refused to get off that bus
there
to
you go.
voting, you know what I mean? Like it was a few years. It took some time. Those things take time.
And was it worth it? Right? Like that's the thing. It's going to be worth it, you guys. It's taken them since Reagan
Right.
to get to maybe even before then, right? Johnson, who knows? Redlining is this the Civil War, right? Like Reconstruction,
Right.
Jim Crow.
All of
Think
it.
about all the effed up
Oh,
stuff this country has done, right? We've got to go back and kind of fix these things from those perspectives.
yeah.
You got, Target getting rid of DEI, like that's going to be some kind of thing, right? Like, I mean, come on, people,
Yeah.
right? So we have a lot to fix, but I'm going to be happy to be in fix it mode,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
I'm going to be happy to have people that I feel like I can email, or I'm going to be happy to have people that are at least a little bit more responsive
Yeah.
than what we have had, which is just
That's right.
that shit crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Thanks everybody so much. We kind of went on really long, but I'm glad you guys
Thanks a lot.
joined us. It was a last minute thing, but we wanted to chat with you all. So
Yes.
thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Always, always love the energy.
Yes, it was a great chat. It was a super fun chat. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And we'll see you soon. We're both on, Afefe has an actual schedule, which is really nice. When do you do your videos? You do. You have a schedule.
For the most part, I try to do them on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
So you can remember, oh my God, Afefe. Oh my God, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Y'all, you're missing out on her pick of cards. If you want a reading, if you want to know what is about to happen in your life in a for real way and you want it for free, new moon and full moon, they are so accurate. Half the time I'm like,
Yeah, I love those. I do. I
oh,
have a
they're so accurate. Oh my God, y'all. So I hope you guys follow her and get all that good stuff that she's offering over there and take really, really good care of yourselves. All right. Much love to all of you. We'll see you soon.
Bye.